So of course the general overall topic of today's video is about like misleading product labels, but I do want to make it clear that I don't believe that brands are sitting up in the top of an evil tower cackling with this evil laugh and like rubbing their hands together trying to deceive everybody and trick them and stuff. I feel like we feel that way about corporations. Sometimes people feel that way about influencers, but I really don't think that there's money in tricking people. But I do think that we do need to have a discussion about what these labels really mean. The brands know what they mean. They know what is going to appeal to you as a consumer, but sometimes you guys don't know what it means, or maybe you do and you just don't care. Who knows? But I do think we need to have a discussion about what these product labels really mean so that you can just be a more educated consumer. Hello everyone, Kayla here. This is What the Kink, a natural hair channel, and the first product claim or label thing that I want to talk about is split end repair. I was inspired to add this to the list because I was using the Eden Marshmallow Deep Conditioner split end repair situation, and like I said, it says split end repair on it, and let me tell you something, okay? Nothing is gonna repair your split ends, okay? Nothing. It's not going to happen, right? We have products like the Eden Deep Conditioner where they're not lying, but what their angle is that we're gonna make your hair so moisturized and, you know, have such great slip and all this that you're not going to further cause more split ends, or you're not going to have split ends created in the process because of that. I think that's the angle that they were going for with that product, that your hair is so moisturized that you're not splitting your hair. And then there are products that temporarily, like kind of, I don't have a better word for it, but they kind of like glue your split ends down. So like if your end is like, this is the end of your hair, you put the product on it, kind of like, it's still split, but it's like glued down. And it seems to be like, you know, I guess for the point of not further causing more splits, to kind of like, you know, protect it until you can get it cut off or you can grow it out or whatever it is. Also makes the hair look better. Sometimes hair that has a lot of splits kind of doesn't look that great. So yeah, but the second that you wash your hair when you're using one of those type of products, the split ends come unglued again and you have to use the product again. So split end repair is a big one. A lot of people buy these products, but honestly, the one thing that's going to repair your split ends above all else is just to cut them off. Strengthening products. Okay, so strengthening products, they're not being dishonest when they say they're strengthening, right? But I think that we think of strengthening in a different way than what the brand may be thinking of strengthening. So I added this one to the list because of the Mielle Rosemary Mint line, right? So I had a short that was explaining this, but the comments were like really off base. Like my subscribers commented early on when I first put it up, but then it kept getting more and more and more and more and more views, and the comments were just getting wild. Like I was like, okay, y'all are not reading nothing, you're not comprehending nothing here. So let's talk about it in this, right? So Mielle has this line and it is touted as a strengthening line, right? So I noticed automatically that the general public assumed that these products were full of protein because that's what they think it takes for a product to be strengthening, right? But when Mielle put strengthening on the product, they put it on there because the main ingredient that is supposed to provide the strengthening is biotin, okay? Biotin is in the products. There's not a lick of protein in the products. I mean, unless I missed it. And I'm talking about the shampoo and I think maybe the mask or the conditioner. I don't remember which one it was. Neither one of them have protein in it. They have biotin. That is what is the strengthening element in the product. And biotin is like a very, very low on the ingredients list. A at-home product formulator told me that biotin at this dilution is still good to strengthen the hair, but to me it sounded like what they were saying is that you would still need to use it regularly. Like it wouldn't be something where you could put it on your hair and instantly like, oh, my hair is strong. Like it would need to be something that you're regularly using over time. So almost like the same category of a light protein treatment where it's not going to shock your hair with protein, but it happens to have some strengthening, and so you just use it regularly like a regular part of your routine. That's what it sounded like they were saying about the presence of this biotin at the dilution that it's at in these products. So we have a situation again where the consumer is thinking this, but really what the product label means is this. Y'all are gonna get tired of me talking about these next two, right? But they are tied together, and I'm gonna keep talking about it, okay? Cruelty-free and vegan. Typically, when these two are on a product, everyone thinks the product is clean and green and healthy and safe and eco-conscious and earth-friendly. When in reality, that is not what either one of those labels means at all. That is not what they mean. So when a product is cruelty-free, it means that it's not tested on animals. Either the final products or the ingredients in the product, not tested on animals. That's all it means. That's all it means. And something can be cruelty-free and not be vegan, because vegan is another level to that. Vegan means something else. So when you see cruelty-free on a product label, it doesn't mean that the product is better or safe or healthy or whatever. Same thing. Now, vegan. Vegan is the next step beyond cruelty-free. So vegan means that the product, in addition to being cruelty-free, because it doesn't need to be tested on animals or neither the ingredients or the finished product, it also means that the product does not contain any animal ingredients either. Now, animal-derived ingredients in hair products are not bad or dangerous or whatever. You know, I personally, ethically, don't feel the need to use animals for the care of my hair or for clothing or for food or whatever. I understand that my choice to be vegan is a personal choice. I do not judge you for not being vegan, even though I know a lot of my viewers are vegan. But anyways, yeah, that's what vegan means, y'all. It doesn't mean all these other things that people think that it means. And we've spoken about this before. And I'm probably going to keep talking about this. Okay, let's talk about these free of list. There are so many brands and so many different products that have these long lists of things that they are free of. I know Shea Moisture's products. I haven't purchased anything from Shea Moisture in years. Not since they discontinued the stuff that wasn't greasy and oily. Like, come on now. Fumbled Bag. But they used to have a long list down the side of free of. I think Maui Moisture has a long list of stuff on the side that they're free of. Can't think of anybody else, but I'm sure you guys will think of these other brands as well that have this long list. But this free of list is usually just stuff that they know that people are freaked out about at the moment. So it's usually there to appeal to consumer ingredient fear. So it'll be like free of phthalates, free of formaldehyde, free of blah, blah, blah. And typically they don't put straight up formaldehyde in products. They usually put formaldehyde releasers that are actually safe. I have a video about OGX and the situation with OGX, and I talk a little bit more about what formaldehyde releasers really are and that kind of stuff. Phthalates are preservatives, if I'm remembering that correctly, and typically at the doses that they're using products, they're not harmful. But they know that people are afraid of those ingredients. They know that people seek to avoid those ingredients. So they put them on this list. They just add the newest buzzword to the list to appeal to the consumer. And then this one promotes hair growth, okay? I have a video where I'm talking about something that promotes hair growth, and by some of the comments I got, and it was a minority of comments, I was like, some people don't really know what promotes hair growth means, okay? Some people just don't know what promotes hair growth means. So what promotes hair growth means is that it creates an environment for you to have healthy hair growth. It doesn't mean makes your hair grow. Okay, it doesn't mean that it makes your hair grow. So for instance, if it's a shampoo, it may be creating a clean environment on your scalp so that your hair can grow unencumbered. Or if it is some sort of like moisture product, it's creating a situation to where your hair is moisturized so that you should be able to retain the length that you're growing and you're not getting breakage or anything. So that's what promotes hair growth means. It doesn't mean it makes your hair grow. They would be in trouble if they were saying makes your hair grow, because I don't think you can legally say on a product that it makes the hair grow. But if you are more interested in hearing me rant about the vegan product thing and how they are using it as a marketing tactic, I have a Detangling Talk where I'm talking about that. A whole video, go check it out. Become a member on today, and I will talk to you in the next one.